Brrrah! What's up my people, my name is Spicy and today I have 6 stories coming out of the subreddit IDontWorkHereLady. If you enjoy my videos and want to support what we do here, leave a fire emoji in the comments and like this video. Congratulations Crystal for the comment of the day. I am here for 5 minutes. I am not opening up earlier for you. I recently started playing Pokemon Go again and got into the habit of early morning playing just before work. I am a big advocate of not playing while I drive, so I routinely pull over and catch spawns of Pokemon or occasionally hit a low rank gym or raid. For those of you not familiar with Pokemon Go raids, it means a special or rare or sometimes legendary Pokemon will occupy a gym for a limited time. Yada yada. I spotted on my map that a locally owned breakfast and brew that was also a pocket gym had a high level Pokemon about to hatch. I pop on my Pokemon Discord server and hit up some friends who are also early morning raiders like myself. It is a little after 6 AM and I am parked outside the closed establishment waiting for a couple of friends to show. It being winter, I keep my car running for warm, but the lights off. Loud knocks on my window startled me from my phone. Hungry dude through my window. Can you open a bit early? I just want to grab a pastry. I am completely dumbfounded. Speechless would be an understatement. I am generally very quick on the uptake, but at that moment, I could do nothing but stare. I have absolutely no idea what he is talking about. Nor could I process the hell he would ask me that question. Must be some nicely dressed crazy homeless person. Hello? No? Go away please. I swap screens over to my Discord channel to warn my buddies of the encounter I just had when it dawns on me that I am parked outside of a breakfast and coffee shop that is about to open. Hungry dude comes within my peripheral view again, sporting the "I need to get your attention" body language. It had been 5 or so minutes since the window tap incident. It's just a few minutes early. Can't you open? Dude, I don't work here. I am a customer just like you. The hungry dude kinda looks around, helpless up and down the street, desperate to get his pantries. By now, my buddies are beginning to pull up to begin our raid that starts in a few minutes. I give them a heads up in the Discord channel that some dude asked me to open up the breakfast and brew. Hungry dude sees a new car pull up and possibly the employee who is opening up. He gets out of his car to head over to my buddy's car who's been forewarned of the encounter. Do you work here? No, I'm waiting for it to open. Helpless, the hungry dude does a odor obviously sweep up and down the street to no avail. The third buddy rolls up a few minutes later and it is close to raid time. Hungry dude gets out of his car sure that this new guy is the employee he's been searching for. He is now waiting by the door, desperate to be the first in line. In Discord, we're chatting away of our encounter to buddy number 3. He is laughing at all of this. The raid starts and we are all focused on our task of tapping the screens. Hungry dudes wander over to buddy's number 3's car and actually taps on his window because gesturing was not working. Can you open a bit earlier than normal? Buddy number 3, while running down the window and not looking up from his screen. Yeah, I would have 1 coffee, 2 chocolate croissants and half dozen creamers with that, thanks. Rolls up the window without missing a beat. Hungry dude just stands there. My other buddy and myself start laughing in our cars. We heard the whole thing. We won our raid, all backed out one after another, and poor hungry dude was left standing in the cold, waiting for the place to open. Apparently, the employee was late. Plus, the employee, when they get there, has opening duties. So, I just want to grab a pastry. Dude, the world does not revolve around you. But hey, I'm happy the rider got their Pokemon. That's good news. But at least he was not screaming at you guys. I fully expected it to go there, but I am glad it didn't. But that being said, no one is going to open early for you, my man. And even some places have strong rules against it. And the only rule I have on this channel is that if you're having fun, well, please consider subscribing. Cable not cancelled. Attorney apologized. I work in a call center for a payment processing company. We set up small businesses with credit card terminals, check imagers, and payment gateway software, depending on their needs. Our toll-free number was 1 digit off the toll-free number for a major cable TV provider. We were used to the cable company's customer calling us by mistake. We will just do a cold transfer to the correct number with the caller's permission. One such caller will not accept that answer. We have a specific script for exactly this call. I started off with the script, but veered off when it became apparent this one caller will not be listening to anything. I need to cancel my cable service. You mother beep charge too much. I'm sorry sir, we are a payment processing company, not the cable company. I can transfer you to the cable company. Is that alright with you? Hell no, I will not be transferred. I'm going to cut the cable going into the box and you are going to cancel my service and give me my money back. Sir, you need to talk to the cable company. We are the payment processing company and we have nothing to do with your cable service. The phone number you need is this, and this, and I can transfer you with your permission. You have my permission to turn off my service and give me my money back. I can't do that. I don't work for the cable company. I work for the payment processing company. You need to process my payment back to me. Get me your supervisor. I'm going to sue payment processing company. You don't have an account with us, so I cannot give you a supervisor. I'm going to have my attorney call you. Okay, are you sure you don't want me to transfer you to the cable company? Screw you, you will be hearing from my attorney. He hung up. When we have a customer mention an attorney, we forward the call to management for review. This guy was not a customer, but I forwarded the call anyway. Evidently, he did have his attorney call us later in the day. A team leader made the connection to my call and took the new call. He explained that the caller wants to cancel service with the cable company. We are in no way affiliated, and the caller refused to be transferred to the correct number. The attorney apologized and presumably had to go confer with his idiot client. This was a really stupid reason to call your attorney for if you had just listened to the call. I hope his attorney charged him for that phone call. Can you imagine paying your attorney like $350 an hour just to get told that you're stupid and it was your mistake? I don't get how some people just continues to insist that yes, this is the right number. Yes, you do work here. Like, why don't you just believe the person saying the truth? When someone calls me and it is the wrong phone number, I just say, hey, wrong number. And they're like, are you sure? I think I got it right. And I'm like, no, wrong phone number. Okay, have a nice day. And that's it. Man, these Karens and entitled people, they go a long way. Liquor store stoners. Quick but interesting one. I went to my local liquor store a couple of nights ago to hound down some monkey shoulder that was on sale for 20 bucks. I head in and this young man, long frizzy blonde hair, multicolored sweater and 1,000-yard stare watches me enter a head straight for the whiskey aisle. As I walk past, I hear a, hey, you work here, right? I turn around. The dude is completely out of it. I respond with, nope, sorry, I just like my whiskey. He then goes, oh, cool. Maybe you know where the Hennessy is then? I point to the cognac and wished him a nice day. Sorry, it is not so dramatic. I just laughed really hard when I got into the car though. Tried to cheer up a friend, but met a Karen instead. I am lucky enough to have never worked in retail or food service, but I am definitely one of the few. So, when I was in high school, my good friend worked in a Baskin-Robbins for a while, and during that time, her father got into a terrible accident and passed away. My friend was the type who needed to be occupied to keep going, so she did not let the devastation consume her, which is a totally valid way to be. So even though her boss was more than willing to give time off, she insisted she work shifts as usual. So I decided to go pay a visit near the end of a shift on a weekend with the intention of treating her to some ice cream and just being together. As she clocked out and her coworker clocked in to relieve her, a little league soccer team walked in, which I was told was fairly common on a weekend since there's a complex nearby. We decided to sit outside so the noise did not bother us. And in comes the Karen. She walks into the store, sees the line of Pee-wee players being served, and then walks right back outside and approaches the table where my friend and I are sitting. My friend is still wearing her Baskin-Robbins shirt, naturally, and the lady asks her why she's not working, because she can't even say anything. Karen just goes on this angry tirade about how they need help in there and she needs to get her ice cream cake now, and she is just so disgusted by how lazy teenagers are and blah 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 blah. People like you should cut wood fires, blah blah blah. And then she asked to speak to the manager, of course, even though that would not help her case at all. By then, my friend was just looking down at her lap, and so I tried to tell Karen that her shift had just ended. They were not short-staffed at all, and it was simply bad luck with timing. And I encouraged her to get the manager so we did not have to deal with her anymore, because I was sure from what I knew about her, there would be absolutely no consequences for my friend. Karen went back inside, and from the window I could see she looked angry, and the manager was not having any over BS. dress. The kids looked kinda uncomfortable too, so I assumed she was asked to leave, because when she stormed back out, she shouted at us that she was never coming to this location ever again. I sure hope she didn't. Good riddance. So, in the end, all I did was make things worse for my friend, even though it is not my fault if Karens decide to be Karens. I still feel bad for it though. Last thing she needed was to be harassed and told that she was being lazy. Old lady thinks I'm her gardener. I was sitting on my couch watching TV when my parents told me to go mow the lawn. I got outside and started to mow. Then my neighbor, some old lady pushing her kid in a stroller, stood there and stared at me when I was working after I finished that side, and I am starting to move to the other side to mow the rest of the lawn. The lady yells at me. She said, "Hey, where are you going? You need to finish the lawn." What? I'm just trying to mow my lawn, I said. "No, that's not the lawn you're supposed to mow." She points at her lawn. "I don't work for a gardening company. I am your neighbor." "Yeah, you do. Your truck is right over there," she said, pointing at the truck. Several meters away, there were just happening to be a gardening truck with an industrial-sized mower. "Lady, I don't work for that company. I am your neighbor," as I said earlier. She was getting ready to go into a rant when the son of the old lady came out of the house. He was in his 30s. "What's going on here?" he asked. "This lazy boy is refusing to do his job and mow the lawn. He does not work there. He's our neighbor. Stop harassing him," he says. This lady storms off inside her house, and I just finished the lawn. The old lady's son apologizes for his grandmothers and go inside. Not that interesting of a story, but it is an I don't work here lady. That son may be used to it, considering his reaction. Poor guy. Maybe she's dealing with dementia or something, I don't know. It is a horrible disease. Along with the memory loss comes a refusal to remember and stubbornness to admit you were wrong. Hopefully that was not the case, so we can end on a happy note. The sun is bright, the flowers are beautiful, it is summer, we're happy, and we're having a great life. We're alive, we're living, we're breathing, we're doing good. Just fine. We may not have everything in the world, we might not have everything that we wanted or that we wish for, but we are here and we are breathing. And things that you think that maybe are out of your reach, well, maybe you just need to sit down and make a plan to reach it. And sometimes life just hits you in the face. And that's okay, and that's normal. But you need to get back up and keep going. Keep going strong, my people. I love all of you. Karen goes for two. After work last Friday, I stopped into the liquor store, which is very large, to pick up some beer and encountered my first true Karen in the wild. The store I typically stop at on my way home from work has been running a contest for a Yeti cooler for a month, and I make it a point to fill out a form each time I stop in. My wife and I have been on the market for this exact Yeti size for camping, and I would rather win it if I can. I do my routine of grabbing our beer and stop at the display to fill out an entry form. On this day, there was a stocking cart half full of cases of some random beer near the display. It might play a role later. For reference, the employees of the store wear clearly branded black polos and black dress pants. I, on the other hand, was wearing a bright orange polo and khaki golf shorts. Now for the cast. Me, 31 years old. K for Karen, around 50-ish I will guess. OG, the other guy, probably in his 30s like me. Halfway through filling out the form, Karen enters. She speaks with her condescending tone from behind. "Can you help me with the beer? I am caught off guard. I don't work here." She looks at me like I just flying kicked her toddler. "Oh, well," followed by some kind of snort noise I have trouble describing. "I am sure this gentleman is the manager." I think at this point she still thinks I am an employee, and OG, who is dressed in a plaid button down and slacks and who was out of my sight because he was also behind me like her, is about to bust my butt. The other guy, mockingly while holding a bottle of whiskey. "I don't work here either, lady." At this point, I grab my two 12-packs in the most obvious way as Karen looks at me, then back at the other guy, and storms off muttering under her breath. I truly think she was so dead set that we were bad employees that I will not be surprised if there was an actual employee and or manager that got yelled at after I left for the other guy and I's lack of service, but I can't say for sure. Check out my playlist right here for I Don't Work Here Lady videos. If you can show me some support by liking the video and subscribing, this will mean the world to me. Also hit the bell button to know when we post a new video and join the notification gang. Thank you again for watching this episode of I Don't Work Here Lady. See ya!